वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन, दिस इज मानस फ्रॉम द हॉस्पिटलिटी डेस्क। जी दोस्तों, आज हम बात करेंगे एक बैंक्वेट का सुपरवाइजर के बारे में। जी हाँ, द बैंक्वेट सुपरवाइजर इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर। अगर आप बैंक्वेट में काम कर रहे हो, बैंक्वेट में एज ए सुपरवाइजर व्हाट ऑल आर द रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज इज देयर यू मस्ट नो, और इफ यू आर गोइंग टू गिव एनी काइंड ऑफ इंटरव्यू, so what your interviewer will going to ask you for your interview, you must know. It is very important to know this many interview question and answer if you are working in a banquet, especially as a supervisor. Your interviewer will ask you a simple questions, that answer has to be with you as a banquet supervisor role. This focus on event operation, being as a banquet supervisor or any team leader, the guest satisfaction and the coordination which is your interviewer will accept from you. So whenever you are going to give any interview, either your supervisor, your associate working in banquet, working in bar or anywhere, whenever you are giving an answer, with your answer there has to be a confident level. There has to be a clear communication skill. There has to be a real example so that your interviewer will understand exactly what you are going to tell. Okay. Now I'll tell you the basic and the common question for all the interview question and answer is, tell me about yourself. If you are working as a banquet supervisor, you have to give this answer like this: I am a hotelier professional with experience in a banquet operational and event service. I have a strong organization and the leadership skill. I enjoy the coordinating terms with other departments to deliver successfully event while maintaining a high service standard for our hotel. So this is how you have to give the answer for tell me about yourself for banquet supervisor. Okay. Now they will ask you the technical questions for banquet supervisor, like what are the responsibilities of banquet supervisor. If you are working in a banquet, what are the responsibilities you are carrying, what is your duties every day you used to do. So you have to give the answer like this: being as a banquet supervisor, I am the person I used to oversee the banquet setup, supervise the service staff, okay, whosoever allocate under me, ensure event the requirements, whatever the requirements are there, the requirements are met properly as per the guest requirement. Okay, I used to coordinate with kitchen and sales team, the banquet sales team, and maintain the service standard exactly what was the hotel standard is, and I handle the guest concerns during the event. During the event, guests have lots of concerns. Guests will ask you, I need this, I need this, I need this. I was discussed, these things has to be done in this way, but this not happen. So I used to ensure that happen as per the guest concern during the event. Okay. Your interviewer will ask you, why do you want to work as a banquet supervisor? Maybe you went to give a interview for a banquet supervisor. They will ask you, why you want to work in a banquet as a supervisor? You can work in a restaurant, you can work in a bar. Why you choose a banquet? For that, you have to give the answer in a diplomatic way, like, I enjoy managing the event and working with the teams in a fast spaces environment. This role allow me to lead the staff and ensure the smooth, successful events and deliver a memorable guest experience, whatever the hotel rules, as per the hotel rules. So this is why I want to work in a banquet as a banquet supervisor. It's very simple. Also, your interviewer will ask you, how do you prepare a banquet event? Whenever an event is finalized or confirmed, you get to know from your event coordinator or from the banquet sales team. So how we are going to plan that banquet event? Your answer has to be very simple. Like, I review the BEO, that is banquet event order, check the venue, setup and coordinate with the kitchen and service staff conduct a staff briefing and discuss everything what is there on BEO and ensure all the equipment and the supplies are ready before the event started. So this is how I used to plan my banquet event. Okay. Now your interviewer will ask you, what is a BEO and why is it important for banquet event? So this is not only for the supervisor, whosoever working in F&B service, especially in banquet, they must know what is BEO and what is the importance for BEO. I will tell you, the BEO, banquet event order, contain all the event details such as the menu, timing, setup, guest contact will be there, and any special request for food, setup, anything. So it ensures all departments are aligned and help each other to avoid any kind of guest complaint or any kind of mistake. So that's a BEO. The importance of BEO is, if you are not read the BEO properly, you will make a mistake. Your department, either front office or housekeeping, anyone can do the mistake, because all the instruction will be there on BEO. All right. So that's the importance of the BEO. Now your interviewer will ask you, how do you manage staff during the large event? You have an event for 2000 people, 2500 people. How you are managing the staff during the event? See, the event started, you give an allocation, staff will go here and there. How you are overseeing them? So that is very important as a supervisor. So that is the reason your interviewer will ask you, how do you manage the staff during the big event? So you have to give the answer like this. I assign clear role. Like, I used to conduct pre-event briefing and monitor all the performance during the event. Okay, and the provide guidance where they need to work, how they need to work, and ensure that teamwork has to happen or function properly. So this is how you have to work. This is how I used to monitor. Okay. Now the interviewer will ask you, how do you handle the guest complaint during the event? Lots of time we have seen the event is happening, guest started complaint. This is not hot, this taste is not good, this taste is not as per your food trial. So what will happen? How do you handle this? So, sir, I listen the guest very carefully and apologize politely and resolve the issue immediately if possible, and I inform to the management if needed. Guest satisfied is my top priority. Of course, being a supervisor, guest satisfaction or your guest needs met is very important. Okay, because you are the person who is handling the event. So this is how I used to handle the complaint. Next, your interviewer will ask you, how do you ensure service quality during the banquet? See, you taken the briefing and you allocate the people, you brief them what exactly they need to do during the event. But it's not happening. You know that it's not happening. Maybe someone somewhere is lapse. So how do you ensure service quality during the event? So you have to give the answer here like this. By following all the SOP, maintain the grooming standards and a monitoring process for the service flow. Okay, and ensure the staff performance. They are very professional and all the time. So this is how I am going to ensure the service quality. I have to keep monitor, keep eye on these people whether they are doing properly or not as per the SOP, as per the standard. Okay. Also, your interviewer will ask you, how do you coordinate with the kitchen, which is very important, because you know the kitchen is the department where you need to do coordinate well. Okay, so that your event will be complete very smoothly. How do you coordinate with the kitchen? So you have to give the answer like this. I maintain a constant communication regarding the timing, what time the food will be picked up, the menu service, the dietary request, if a dietary request is there, any requirement is there, so that message has to be passed properly. And I used to take the last minute change to ensure the smooth food service. Any last minute request is there, I used to ensure that has to be done in a smoothly. So this is how I used to coordinate to the kitchen department for smooth banquet operation or smooth event operation. Now your interview will ask you, how do you handle last minute changes in guest count? Guest has given you on your BO or FP minimum guarantee is 500, but suddenly guest came 800. So how we are going to handle the last minute changes for the guest count? So you have to give the answer like this. I inform the kitchen and service team immediately, adjust the table setup and reassign the staff if I need, and ensure the service consistency has to be there and operation has to be very smooth. So this is how I used to handle the last minute changes for the guest count. If 300 more people are coming, I will immediately reset my table. If need, I'll call the extra people. I'll inform immediately to the kitchen and the service staff. So please wait, few more guests is coming, and please refill the food. Please get ready the buffet properly. Assign extra staff for the table setup or the extra visa if it is not there. So this is how I used to do it. Now your interview will ask you, what type of banquet setup are you familiar with? That means your interviewer want to know how many type of banquet setup you know. Tell me. Because if you are working in banquet setup is very important, especially if you are a supervisor or if you are giving interview for the supervisor. Because you are going to supervising the staff. If staff makes any mistake, you have to ask the question as a clarification, right? So you have to give the answer how many type of setup you know. Like I know theater, cluster, classroom, U setup, boardroom setup, round table setup, buffet setup, cocktail setup, fishbone setup, V setup, etc., etc., etc. So there is a lots of setup is there in banquet. So you have to take the name, few important and usually what is used to do for the conference or the bigger event. Alright, so now your interview will ask you how do you manage inventory and the equipment. So being as a supervisor, either you are working in banquet, restaurant or bar, especially in F&B service, this question is very important for everyone, for all supervisor and executive. Like how do you manage inventory and the equipment? Because your inventory management and equipment maintenance is very important for all the event. See, this month you have a 5,000 spoon. Next month you have only 4,000 spoon. So 1,000 spoon is missing means you can run only 3 months. So you have to maintain your equipment, you have to manage your inventory in a proper way. So how are we going to do that? So you have to give the answer like this. I ensure proper counting and safe handling, timely requisition and post-event check to avoid loss or any kind of damage, because whenever event is happening, after the event always I used to check, okay, 500 or 600 spoons, 600 fork I taken out from the store for this particular event. I ensure 500 spoon will goes to the store after the event. So this is how I used to maintain my inventory. Okay, now your interviewer will ask you, how do you handle the pressure during multiple events? So now, as of now, I talk about only one event is happening, you are handling event, you are handling the staff. How do you ensure the guest satisfaction? This. Now, if there is a 5 venue and all 5 venues, somewhere is happening cocktail dinner, somewhere is happening engagement, somewhere is happening conference, how we are going to handle this? So, you have to give the answer like this. By planning ahead and prioritize my task, staying calm and delegates all the work effectively and maintain very clear communication with all the team member will help me to handle this pressure during multiple events. So this is how you have to give the answer to the interviewer. Now your interviewer will ask you, what safety and hygiene standard are important in banquet? They will ask you, is it important? See, lots of time in banquet, we used to see the bulk cooking is happening. bulk production, bulk service is happening. So in those time we are forgetting for safety and hygiene. See, safety and hygiene is very important in banquet also, especially in food safety, proper the lifting or the technique, especially the lifting technique. Okay, the fire safety, crowd control or crowd management, cleanliness are very essential to ensure the guest and staff safety. If you not keep clean your areas, if you are not controlling the crowd properly during the event, if you are not lifting in a technical way, it can be a problem for staff and guest as well. So that is the reason in banquet also safety and hygiene standard is very important for all the team members. Okay, now your interviewer will ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That means your interviewer want to know that upcoming 5 year, what you want to become. You want to become banquet manager, you want to become a food and beverage manager, you want to become executive, what? So you have to give the answer, I see myself growing into the banquet manager or F&B leadership role, controlling or contributing to the larger event and any kind of team development. So this is what I want to see in upcoming 5 years. So you can say, in upcoming 5 years, I want to see myself as a food and beverage manager, like this. Okay. So I'll tell you few simple things. These many questions I told, 15 number of questions for banquet supervisor interview question and answer. But whenever you are giving this question and answer, whenever you are answering this question, you have to keep few real example on the face of your interviewer. Like interviewer will check your leadership skill is there or not, your coordination skill is there or not, how you are communicating with your department to other department is proper or not, you are maintaining proper physiology or not, which is not important. But it is very important how confident you are dealing with the guest, how confidently you are dealing with the staff member, how confidently you are resolving the complaint, how confidently you are showing your leadership skill or coordination skill to the management. So this is very important. So wherever and whenever you are giving interview, you have to check this all, which is very important. And knowing the BEO setup, service style, these all is very important. How you are going to emphasize to the guest satisfaction. This is very important, because in banquet, being a supervisor, you have to emphasize to the guest, especially the host. If you are not able to do that, so then your event will be not successful. Okay, so these many things has to be there for being as a banquet supervisor. अगर ये वीडियो आप लोगों को अच्छा लगा, काइंडली चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए और बेल आइकन को दबाने के लिए जरूर दबा देंगे, तो हम ऐसे और भी वीडियो आपके पास लेकर आएंगे. ठीक, थैंक यू सो मच, काइंडली बेयर विद अस.